There are so many good things in this world, and hear me out. Like, I think many times we see the bad things in this world because we have decided to shift our focus on the bad things, and what you seek you will find. So if you're actively seeking the bad, then that's what you're gonna find. But if you're actively seeking the good, then you're gonna find the good, because the good can come in someone's laughter and celebrating someone's victories and just being with those that you love, or you being proud of yourself for starting the thing that you told yourself you would start 2 weeks ago. I think that everything starts with celebrating the small things. If there's something big that happened in your life, something monumental that occurred, it gives proof that the significance starts in the small things, because it is those small things in the in-between that allowed for that big thing to take light. So technically, it's not the big things that matter that should be celebrated. Rather, it's the small things that took place in order for that big thing to occur that matters. We have to celebrate the small victories or the small things, or just be happy for those small things, because those are the very things that give us significance. Because we don't have extraordinary days every day. Most of our lives are composed of ordinary days doing ordinary things. And if we only wait for those extraordinary days, then it'll almost be like we're diminishing the importance of our life. Seeking the good means seeing the good in ordinary days and finding the value in the small things. The moment you start to realize that, that's when you start valuing the small beginnings, because how can you value the big things if you didn't teach yourself how to value the small things? I think that many times we get so frustrated because we focus on the time when I did that, or when I won that, or when I achieved that, and we put this burden on ourselves and say that if we don't achieve anything close to that again, then we're mediocre, or what we do doesn't matter. And we put this burden on ourselves, and I get that, because I sometimes feel like I'm more afraid of success because I'm afraid I won't ever be able to do more than what I did then. But focusing on what you did before is like you holding on to a door that was meant to be closed, and we forget that we can find the good in the now. The past is done. Yesterday left when you slept, and the future you now depends on what you do now. The now is the one thing you have control over. You can't change the past, and the future isn't yours. I think one of the most stupidest things that was ever said to anyone was, find what you're made to do, seek your purpose, find your one thing. But if we say that, it's almost like we're only here for that one big thing and that's it. And I think about Jesus, if his only purpose was dying on the cross, then everything else he did was for nothing. But rather, it was the way that he lived that was significant. Him healing the sick, rising people from the dead, loving people, being present was so significant. And even him crying, having, literally having feelings validated ours as well. So his purpose wasn't just dying on the cross, but it was eating with those that were different, loving people, teaching his disciples, healing people, being a friend that played a pivotal role in his purpose. You're not here for just one big thing. And I think that that's where we fall, thinking that we're here for that one big purpose. Because if we have that mentality, then it minimizes the value of all the small things. But you giving a smile to someone that needs it, or being a friend, or complimenting someone that needs it, or seeing something good in your life, celebrating your victories, it's all the small things are your purpose. So don't sell yourself short. And if that weren't true, then there would be no significance to our lives or to the small things. But as we talked about before, it's all those small things in the in-between that allow for that big thing to happen. So therefore, it's the small things that we should be celebrating. And as cliche as this might sound, but you simply being here is significant. And if you are here, then everything you do matters and plays a significant role. Because if one thing matters, then everything else matters.